Hello children, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing well. The lesson that we will start today is about a very special bond. It's a unique bond that we share with our father. You know, fathers are like coconut. They are strict and hard from outside and soft and tender from inside. Parents' love and concern for their children often lies beneath their strictness. And a similar kind of love, a similar kind of affection we will find in the chapter that we will start today from your Beehive text. The name of the chapter is The Little Girl, written by Katherine Mansfield. Now before we proceed with the chapter, let us know Kathleen Mansfield or Katherine Mansfield a little better. Kathleen Mansfield Murray or Katherine Mansfield was born on colonial New Zealand on 14th October 1888. Mansfield left New Zealand for England at the age of 19 to begin a career as an author. Her innovative, accessible, and psychologically acute genre shaped the 20th century. Her fictions, poetries, journals and letters cover an array of subjects like the difficulties and ambivalences of families, the fragility and vulnerability of relationships, the complexities and insensitivities of the rising middle classes, the social consequences of war, etc. Some of her famous collections are In a German Pension, Bliss and Other Stories, Prelude, The Garden Party, The Dove's Nest, etc. Her list of short stories include Germans at Meat, A Blaze, A Truthful Adventure, The Man Without a Temperament, The Woman at the Store, The Little Girl, and many more. At a very young age, she was diagnosed with extrapulmonary tuberculosis, which claimed her life at the age of 34. She died on 9th January 1923. Now let me just give you a brief synopsis of the chapter, The Little Girl. The Little Girl is a story of a little girl, Kezia, who misunderstands her father's strictness and usually remains scared of him. Every morning before going to work, her father gave Kezia a casual kiss. In reply, she only said, "Goodbye, father." The little girl was unable to understand his affection and love. When her father left home for work, she felt a sense of relief. And when he returned home from work, his loud voice made her frightened. Even her father's stern look terrified her. To every question asked by the father, in fear she would stammer. She thought that her father was a hard-hearted person. She visualized her father as a giant, especially when he yawned. Her grandmother suggested her to spend some time with her parents. But when Kezia entered the drawing room, she found that her mother was busy reading and her father sleeping. Feeling neglected, she came back to her room. One day, Kezia made a pincushion to present her father on his upcoming birthday. She needed something to stuff the cushion. So she went to her mother's bedroom and searched for some stuff to fill the cushion. She found some sheets of paper on the table. Unaware of the importance of those sheets of paper, she tore them into pieces, stuffed it into the cushion and stitched it. When her father found Kezia responsible for tearing his important papers, he got furious and took a stick to beat Kezia as a punishment for touching the thing which does not belong to her. The incident further alienated her from her father. When she saw her neighbor, Mr. MacDonald, playing with his 5 children, she thought that there were different kinds of fathers in the world. Mr. MacDonald was a loving father, whereas her father was a cruel one. After a few days, Kezia's mother fell so unwell that her grandmother had to take her to the hospital. Kezia was left alone at home under the care of their cook. The cook warned her not to scream while sleeping and disturb her tired father. At night, Kezia had a horrible dream, and she woke up screaming and shouting as she was terrified. Opening her eyes, she saw her father standing beside her bed. He lifted her up and took her to his room. He tucked her up in his bed and went off to sleep. Kezia got lost in her thoughts. She felt the beating of her father's heart. She tried to understand her father. She realized that her father is not bad. He also has a big, caring and loving heart. Now let us justify the title of the story, The Little Girl. The title of the story is appropriate, especially considering that the story is narrated from the point of view of the little girl. It focuses on the life, sufferings, observations, views, expectations of the little girl Kezia. The story also exhibits Kezia's feelings for her father, which changes from fear to understanding. With this, we conclude the chapter. Thank you. Stay home and stay safe.